those that are less fortunate than us, helping family members that need our help, that you see the results in your own personal life. And that formula is the same formula that will work for our community, and it has worked in the past. So it's not a matter of who should we follow or who should we trust, whose business plan is the best. If you don't try it, we got a large population of African Americans, the big billions, probably trillions of dollars that play the lotto all the time. And if our African American brothers and sisters, we just go out and tell them to stop putting so much money in the lotto, or at least have a consciousness that you could be putting that money somewhere, because you don't have faith. You got how many odds? How many billions and millions of odds? So, okay, here's my brother that I don't trust. I don't trust him mainly, from be honest with myself, because he looks too much like me. That's your problem. You don't trust your brother because you don't trust yourself. But if you could have a little faith in your brother and say, okay, I don't mind. You know, it sounds foolish, but hey, I trust you. What are the odds? One day I'm going to find a brother that's not going to rip me off. One day I'm going to find a brother that's not going to fail in his mission. One day we're going to hit the lotto and get exactly what we were aiming for when we first made our investments. I'm not asking you for an investment. I'm asking you to just support small, simple business and start, because you got to start somewhere. I started out with zero, with nothing. I was just working for my father in any capacity that he had for me, and he told me he wanted me to run his business, WBM Publications. And I started selling tapes for 30, I think he was giving me 33%. And that business, that eventually grew into a business and a livelihood for me. And the opportunity came for where I saw competition. And did I back down? Because I said, well, here, I got a small audience. I'm only making X amount of dollars. I'm looking at the books to see if I'm able to get paid this month. And here comes Imam Muhammad. Now I have competition. I got somebody. And Allah put it in my heart and mind. He said, well, instead of me trying to compete and butt heads, which is what we do, we'll go stand on the same corner in the same spot and grab the same product that your brother is selling and then compete with him when the whole market over there is open and there's a mountain of money over there that you don't even take a second glance at. You want your brother's money. You know, you got a whole box of cookies, he got a handful of crumbs, and you too busy worried about his crumbs. That's a shame. That's pitiful. That's how we are. That's African American people. That we don't care that we do better than somebody else. We just care that he's doing. We don't want to see him do well at all. You know, and we're not sincere. We got a lot of soul searching to do, and that's why young people are out here. The White House could have sent anybody. They could have sent a 6-7 foot tall. I seen some guys, white guys, 350 pounds. They could have sent a little old man. They could have sent an Asian, African, anybody. But they sent a young African-American male, young, 10 years younger or more than myself. I think he said he was 30 years old. That's a powerful message he's sending us. He said, you all not going to bring your youth out, but the White House will bring our youth out. You see? Bring our intelligence. But we want to keep our youth out and say, look what I have. This is my pride and joy. You know, he ain't one of y'all. But his name is Abdullah Muhammad. And he ain't, you know, he better than his community. How you gonna be? How you gonna raise your children to look down their nose at their history? They ain't gonna never grow. And we need to do some serious soul searching. That's our problem. That's why we're not going nowhere. But the group that's here, you all are the cream of the crop. Y'all are the best of the best. And we can't do it alone. So I need you all need to do like we do. Wake up in the morning thinking about how we're going to improve the life of our community. You all need to wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to put my mind and my spirit in the shoes and in the position I believe our Imam, who I believe Muhammad was here. Now Muhammad said that what God, after raising you up and teaching you wisdom and giving you knowledge and understanding and ability and experiences for so many years, and giving you a spirit and a faith and energy just so great, and you grow to be old, and instead of getting stronger and faster, you're getting more feeble and weaker, slowing down. But your mind is still sharp, but your spirit is increased far more than it was when you were a young man, a teenager, 18, 20. That you had spirit then, but now you got spirit with knowledge and wisdom and how to apply it. Like what God would cut that off at the height of this growth and development. So he said, without a doubt, he knows that there's a hereafter, there's a life after. And if I now had such strong faith and conviction, then we should be looking and say, if I now believe that that's the God that we believe in and the God that we worship, then we should also be reflecting on things. What he said, we shouldn't just hear it. There's light in everything. It's not just light in material things. There's light in words. Allah has a message for you personally. There's a personal message for you in everything that you come in contact with. So we should be studying what Imam Muhammad said and think, well, how can we give support to that message he gave? You know, he's talking about the end of his stay on this earth with us. And he's talking about the afterlife. So how can we help him answer that problem? You know? And you all know it. I don't have to say it. You know it. That we have to take up where he left off. That's how he's going to live forever. That's how he's going to finish he's going to complete his mission. We're going to have to do it for him. You know, and not his son. You know, not because I'm his flesh and blood. His son's going to do his job, but I'm one person. You know, and our job is for humanity. That Allah chose us to be an example and a model and a leader for the world. You know it in your heart. You know it. Those of us that have come through this experience and understand what Allah has done to the life of people on this planet through us, that we are a shining example, a sign for the whole world, without a doubt. That's why I take my camera everywhere. I said, they're not going to put me in a box or in a cage. But my father one time said that he don't like to send, and I still wrestle with it, send Qurans. I was asking for, I need Qurans because people order them in prison. He said the Quran ain't intended to be locked up in the prison. He didn't say that first. He initially said, I don't like to send the Qurans to prison. And there's a lot of sincere brothers that are in prison and are behind bars, that probably will hurt them so deeply because they go to jail and they find God, you know. They find Allah. They're on their deen. They're making their 5 prayers and rock out. But how can you manage in the world? The Quran is designed to liberate you and to free you. On this whole earth is Allah's message, you know, not behind bars. So we have to think in those terms. And I said, well, that internet, I heard it reach all around the world. I carried my camera on there. I had my son burden down. I said, you lifting weights now. I said, this is what those muscles were for. I put the business card in most of your hands, and I want you to study that. This is easy to start. You know, $7 for a bottle of coral calcium. That $7 can turn into $700. Or 7 million. 7 million to 700 billion. 700 billion. Easy. Easy. Just look at the lotto. Use that logic if you don't believe me. And this right here is your product. And you see the hour in there? It's our shared product. It's also your product. We've had your supermarket all these years in our mind. We raise our grandbabies praising your supermarket. And this is, brother, he's a shining example. Produce. That is something that liberates the heart and soul. And I can talk on that forever, about the plant life and the growth and the beauty of being involved in agriculture and providing food for yourself. That is something, that's where our mind and heart should be. It should be in producing and providing products for ourselves. And your supermarket, I think this is the first time I've seen our highlight. Highlight. So Allah sent that to us because a member of our community didn't produce this. Actually, I went to the logo. I said, you produce logos. I like some of your logos. Can you do something for us? You know, I don't want no women or no cars or no bling bling or nothing, you know, because that's what they do. But they have some beautiful artwork. And that's a part of